The next session of our morning show today from WRCO, we're going to talk about the National Wild Turkey Federation and some events going on locally as well. Joining us in studio today, we have Fuzz McCauley, and we have current president Derek Goplin joining us here. Fuzz, why is this an interesting topic for you today?
Well, the outdoors is a big deal for me, whether I've got a fishing rod in my hand or whether I'm chasing deer or whatever is going on. But I got involved with this group several years ago, mainly because I just liked these guys and gals that were involved, and they just were good people, and hunting and fishing was their thing, and I just, that's how I got involved.
You've been a hunter a lot of your life, but turkeys, I'm guessing that probably came a little bit later in life, didn't it?
Turkeys came later for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And, I did hunt turkeys for several years, mainly because one of my brothers and one of my sons both loved to call turkeys. And I just never, ever learned it because they did it. They loved to do it. And we would have some success, and that was great. So to fast forward that, I bet there was a dozen years I did not hunt turkeys. And Jerry Lynch told me just this year, who's one of our committee members, Jerry goes, Fuzz, if you're going to be on the National Wild Turkey Federation committee, you got to hunt turkeys. So I went out with Jerry this year, and we got a turkey. So it's just a blast. It's fun to do, but yet these people on the committee are just fun to be with.
As far as sporting wise, is it one of the more difficult animals to hunt?
Well, they have their characteristics that other wildlife don't have. So, for example, like their eyesight is like superb, and so their sight is their big deal. Of course, you hunt them during their breeding season, like almost all other wildlife. That's the only chance you really have at being successful. But they're very keen, and some of these people hunt them for several seasons a year, which you can do legally. And a lot of the people that we have now, the circle has been big enough that these are people that have gone out with our committee members as kids, hunted, and now come back and are active in our organization. So people like John Clare, who have been here for a long time as an active member and president of our organization, those are the real foundation to what goes on with us.
Derek Goplin is here as well. Congratulations, I guess, on being named president.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Are you one of those that Fuzz talked about, that you were a young guy and kind of getting introduced to the sport and then eventually giving back?
Yeah, and I started hunting around high school, and growing up, obviously, with my dad. I was always taken out turkey hunting with some others, and always had really good success when I was younger. Success rates are about 30%, from what I know, at least, and it was always successful, so it makes it a lot easier when you can get a bird in close and be able to enjoy that.
You're in today to talk about some upcoming events, including one just coming up this Saturday, Derek.
Yep. So this Saturday we have a kind of a joint event. It's called Jake's Day. It's hosted with our local chapter of the Turkey Federation, along with the archery club in town. We've been doing that every year. It's usually pretty successful. So we're just spreading the word, trying to get some more kids up there. It's this Saturday, the 2nd. It's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have a free lunch. We have a lot of archery events. We've shot BB guns in the past, some like mock shed hunting stuff. And it's usually a good time. We have a lot of items we give away as well. Usually we have a sponsor from Cabela's, and he comes up and gives a talk, and he's given away fishing poles before, some low poundage reed curve bows. We'll have a couple of those this year, and it's usually a good time.
It's not just about turkeys then.
No, it's kind of a joint event between the two organizations, but it's really more about just getting kids in the outdoors and introducing them to all sorts of different things.
Sounds like just the bottom line is fun, Derek.
Yes, yeah, it's usually a good time.
In terms of the youth, then, do they have to have anything, hunter safety or anything? Is anything like required? Or
they don't need anything to participate in this, no. So there's no hunting that's going on. This is just an outdoor rec activity, to say, and come up for for 4 hours and have a good time and get a free lunch out of it.
They have some bows that they can actually pull back and everything?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. So you guys meet regularly. Can you talk a little bit about the club and how often you get together and everything?
Yeah, so we get together probably monthly, I'd say, sometimes bi-monthly. We have our own activities to kind of get people together. We've been meeting a lot more recently because of our banquet that's coming up. That's on the 15th of August. That'll be at the Phoenix Center. So we've been pushing flyers for that. We have some stuff online. That's our big fundraiser to help locally with money, as well as raise money nationally as well. It helps with habitat rehabilitation and some other stuff. So it's an important thing to do, at least in the committee's eyes.
Yeah, Fuzz, it's all about giving back in that case, isn't it?
Right, and I think, like Derek, for example, most of us start this stuff when we're younger, like high school or even younger. And so eventually, after you get to be a little more mature, like some of us are, you're like, I just want to give other people a chance to do the same thing that I got to do. It's not maybe so much what your success rate is anymore. It's, hey, can I put a smile on somebody else's face? And so that's why, we have hunts and things that our committee puts, they'll take young people, as they have for years, out and actually do a turkey hunt during the turkey seasons. And so it's that give back kind of thing. And as Derek said, some of this is archery, some of this is look for sheds, which we do some games with that, some fish casting, that kind of stuff. And so just give people the opportunity you had.
Tell us a little bit more about the banquet, Fuzz.
Okay. Well, the banquet is, as Derek mentioned, it is the 15th of August. That's a Friday night. So it's a Friday night at the Phoenix Center. I'm sure if you want to get some flyers, go online kind of thing, Derek or I probably could get, or committee members have these flyers. But it's an evening kind of thing, so you get doors open at 5. It's a full meal, banquet type of meal. Then there's walk-arounds, chances, raffles, chances to win outdoor equipment, some guns. A new thing in the last couple of years has been bingo, so we play some games of bingo, to which, if you're the winner, you can either win a gun type of thing, or you could just get cash. So those are kind of our focus as far as the events go. And of course, we share what we do locally at the banquet, and then we have a representative that's there that represents the national, and he will talk about a little bit about Nationals organization. He'll have some hunts there that you can buy on a silent auction. So if you want to go to South America and do a hunt, they'll have those. They'll have hunts in the Dakotas and stuff like that. So I guess if you come with the idea that you might want to do a hunt that's way outside of our area, but a unique hunt, those possibilities are there, and as well as the local people, talking about their turkey hunts and the chance to maybe win some prizes and some bingo prizes. So
some of the money stays local for your local chapter then?
Right, and that's always a focus that, we keep stuff so we can do local activities. Now, some of the money that goes to the national, you apply and funnel it back for this Jake's Day, for example. So if we do a Jake's Day promoting the Turkey Federation, then they help fund some of those kind of events. So yeah, it's kind of, that's how a lot of these organizations work. You also get a membership, with the National Wild Turkey Federation, and a lot of their focus is on buying or renting or leasing land, public land, or private land that is now public, because let's face it, many of us want to do outdoor sports, but we can't get a chance to do it. We don't have the acreage or the land. So in a lot of cases, that's where some of this money goes to allow for more hunting opportunities.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we've talked about that during the gun deer season and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of land is posted, but it's important to get those relationships going with some of the landowners, isn't it?
Exactly. And this banquet's a big deal with that, too. When landowners come quite often, you get to rub shoulders with them. And, I think kind of back to, we were talking about the actual hunt, landowners usually are not as protective with the turkey population as maybe they are with the deer population, kind of thing. So it's much easier to get a good relationship and be able to turkey hunt on someone. When it comes back to the actual hunt, I think I've only witnessed maybe one other thing that is more thrilling than to have a tom gobble, and that would be like an elk bugle.
Oh.
It is like unbelievable. It's like you might not even know that turkey is in your area, that tom, and you got somebody calling, and of course you're all snuck and tucked in and things, and then all of a sudden that gobble, and it's like, and that's exactly the way an elk bugle is. You can be out hunting elk in that early season, and it's like when they bugle, it's like, ooh, cells just chills down your spine.
Do you concur with that, Derek?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, certainly exciting. You said 30% success ratio when you're hunting turkey?
That's what I've been told.
Yeah. So for deer, it would be obviously a little bit higher than that.
Yep.
So a little bit more excitement, a little bit more rare when you get that bird, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's a lot of different techniques. You can move around a lot. You can chase them, and as long as you got the property to do so. Whereas most whitetail hunting here is in tree stands, and we don't do a ton of spot and stalk stuff here like you would do out west in the open. So it's definitely different. It's a different time of year. I like moving around too, so it's nice.
When are the seasons held in the state of Wisconsin?
They usually start in April, so about the second week of April, third week of April, depending on the year.
Are licenses hard to come by?
Nope. So you have to apply for it. There's a application process that ends in the middle of December. You can put in for like first or second season. Those are usually the more gone after seasons. That sometimes the people say they're better, sometimes they're not. But there's 6 different seasons, so there's plenty of tags to get, and you get early April stuff from being cold sometimes and snow to 80 degrees in the end of May. So,
yes, you do. What are the numbers like? Have you heard anything recently for turkey numbers in the county in southwest Wisconsin?
That I don't know off the top of my head. John would have been a great guy to have to say those numbers. So,
yeah. And kind of speaking of John, John has been our chapter president for a lot of years. And not only did he, was he a big involvement here in all kinds of conservation, but he was also the person that started the charter in Waniwak chapter. So when you're around John and you're in another group of people of turkey hunters in other areas or at a conference or convention, John's been around the block, and he is just really a wealth of education on turkeys, and we have several in our group that are very experienced, and that's why we really encourage things like this Jake's and Jenny's Day, for these kids to come up, and they get a chance to be with people that know what they're doing, and that's not me. But they get some of the best instruction, and I want to encourage parents, and in most cases they bring their children up and they stay, and that's great because most of these parents have an interest too in the hunting world, and they get a chance to pick brains with some of these other people that are very, very experienced. So I think it's a great thing for adults and for youngsters.
For a lot of youngsters, that's where the love of hunting first started, was seeing mom or dad do it, right?
Exactly. And with turkeys, you can go out which you can with a lot of wildlife now, but turkey's much easier to get out there with mom or dad and experience a hunt. These are, the weather is, as Derek said, the weather can be touchy. Doesn't matter what wildlife you're chasing, but quite often you can get a day during that week that it really works out smooth for kids to be out there and be on that hunt with their parents.
Likewise, somebody that maybe doesn't have a person that can bring them out there or whatever, you have lots of opportunities for youth hunts and for mentorship too, don't you?
Right, yep. And the hunter safety thing, that's been a lot of the people in our committee, which we have like about 12, 14 people on our committee, very active. We really like that. They've done the hunter safety instruction with other people in the community, but they've been very involved with that. So it's not like this is not a banquet for let's just raise some money and one day you're never going to hear from us again kind of thing. You come to this banquet, help us raise some funds, and it's going to get used right here. And I think that was another thing that really kind of caught me when they asked me it's something that it's going to get used right here. That was a big deal to me.
No doubt. So you'd encourage a lot of folks to come out on Saturday, Derek, as you look at the Jakes and Jenny 17 and under event. And it sounds like it's just going to be about fun, isn't it?
Yeah, and Fuzz brought up the weather. So if you're not doing anything Saturday, it's supposed to be 81 degrees and sunny.
Perfect.
Low of 55, so it should be a wonderful morning. It's not going to be too hot. And, if you don't have anything else going on outside, we're glad to have you, and it will be a good time.
Maybe, Derek, it'd be a good idea to just share where the archery range is.
So the physical address of the archery club is 25561 Moore's Path Lane. It's Richland Center. That's up behind Goodwill. So if you're headed out of town, take a left, go back behind Goodwill. You take that about a mile to the stop sign, you take a left, and then you go up the gravel hill.
Follow the arrows, in
fact.
fact.
Follow the arrows to the archery. There should be archery club signs up. So
that's perfect. What about sponsors? Do you have sponsors for this weekend's event?
The sponsors will just be our local chapter, Scenic Hills, the Ridge and Valley. That's the Elk Foundation. Mm-hmm. Strang Plumbing and Heating always helps out with the events, the Cabela's as well, and then of course archery club's hosting the event. So
awesome. I'd like to have you guys back and we could have like a turkey call competition, and have the listeners vote on who has the best one, right?
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. You could hook us on that one.
Or we could see if we get any turkeys coming down. Call them in.
Maybe we'll do that, and I'll pick one to come out hunting with me, because that's not me. So
okay.
And that's what's all really kind of fun, and it leads up to our banquet. Again, on a Friday night, we like the idea that we do it on a Friday night instead of a Saturday. Everybody's like busy all the time, but Saturdays are really busy. We have found that a Friday night at the Phoenix Center really works well for us.
That's August 15th, coming up real soon, certainly. And I know nationally, too, and locally you do some membership things and also some scholarship things, Fuzz, don't you?
Right. You bet we do. And again, that's that local thing that I think is unique about our NWTF Scenic Hills chapter.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming in today, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you, Phil.
Thanks.
Good luck with your event.
Thank you.
Yeah, again, that's coming up this weekend, the Jakes and Jenny 17 and under youth outdoor event. That's happening this weekend, and the banquet on Friday, August 15th. Thanks to Fuzz McCauley and current president Derek Goplin of the Wild Turkey Federation.